Good morning, students. I'm Professor K. Makeshwari, KC's Kasinagar College of Arts and Science. Today, we are going to talk about denotation and connotation, and what is the difference between denotation and connotation. Now, let us see what do you mean by denotation. Denotation, it is nothing but the direct meaning of a word or a phrase. That means it gives you the direct meaning of any word or a phrase. Okay, you cannot find any sort of an direct, you cannot find any sort of an indirect or an implied meaning to a sentence, to a phrase. For example, you take the sentence, the family sat together in front of a warm fire. Now let us take the word warm. The denotative or the literal interpretation of the word warm gives you the meaning nearly hot, which means it talks about, otherwise the word warm talks about only the actual temperature. It does not have any sort of a suggestive meaning or an implied meaning or an indirect meaning. Now, let us see what do you mean by connotation. Actually, connotation, it is nothing but the unspoken hidden meaning that gives a word more cultural and emotional impact. That means when you say a word, besides having a literal meaning, the word may have some sort of a connotative. Okay. Now let us take the same sentence again. The family sat together in front of a warm fire. The connotative or the figurative interpretation of the word warm gives you the meaning like comforting and friendly. Okay, so let us see in detail about the connotation. Before that, let's see an example for denotation. Now look at the picture. The girl was blue, which means the face of the girl is painted in the color of blue. So it gives you the direct meaning that the girl was painted blue. So there is no implied meaning. It does not talk about the health of the girl. It does not give you any suggestive meaning or an indirect meaning. Okay. So the picture talks only that the girl was blue. Okay. So this is called as denotative. Now, if you are still confused, let us take some more examples. The boy was pushy. Here, the boy was literally pushing the people. So that's why it is stated as the boy was pushy. Take the next sentence. She was cold. Okay. She was cold in temperature. That's a literal meaning of the word cold. And the third one, it was too hot. It refers to an object over here. The object was too firm, too heavy. That's why it is denotated with a word called hard, and it does not have any sort of an implied meaning. And last example, the dog is a mutt, which gives you the meaning. The dog is a mix of several breeds. Okay, so these are the examples of our denotation. Now, let us talk about connotation. Connotation, as we were talking earlier, it means an indirect meaning. Otherwise, the word which is equipped with the cultural or the emotional impact. So, the connotation is nothing but the associated or the secondary meaning of a given word. It is an idea or feeling suggested rather than described. Okay, the meaning of a word may be a suggestive one rather than a described one. Through the word's connotations, you can find that they can reveal hidden opinions, attitudes, or judgments. So, which means, so based on the connotation of a word, you can talk, otherwise, you can find what is the opinion of an individual, what is an attitude one individual possesses, what about his own judgment based on the connotation which he uses, that is very easily, that can be very easily found out. Okay, now let us see the types of connotation. Okay, so based on the description, the connotation can be classified into three. One is neutral, the second one is positive, and the third one is negative. Okay. Neutral connotation does not present any attached connotation, which means it does not have the perspective of any sort of a positivity as well as a negativity. It is neutral in its own connotative. Okay. And the second type of connotation is a positive connotation. So positive connotation can invoke a favorable emotional response. Okay. So it talks about only the positivity. Let's take the examples like a happy, otherwise the word like a home or beautiful, honest. Everything seems to be positive. Okay. Negative, negative connotation presents a person or a thing, a negative perspective. Now take the words like a sad, misery, danger, struggle. So these are the words always talk about the negativity, otherwise are used in the negative perspective. Okay. Now to describe these three types of connotation, let us take an example. The word called youthful. Okay. Actually the word youthful, based on the connotation, we can use different words. Okay, when you say youth, it possesses neutral connotation. When you say he is like a childlike, okay, otherwise he is a childlike, the word possesses positivity, otherwise a positive connotation. When you say his behavior is childish, you use negative connotation. So, based on your own idea, the word can give you the connotation. Either it may be of a positive one or a negative one. Sometimes it can possess neutral also. Okay. Now let us see the next example. Unique. Before seeing that, we can see the picture. In the picture, the color of one umbrella seems to be different. If I say the color of the umbrella is different, I'm using neutral connotative. When I say the yellow color seems to be unique, which means I'm talking from the perspective of positivity. Okay. When I say the yellow color seems to be peculiar among the, all the black umbrellas, there I'm using negative connotation. Okay. So it has only one picture, but you can give three different perspective. Okay. If you are neutral, you can say different. If you are negative, you use the word peculiar. If you use a positive connotation, you use the word unique. Okay. I hope now you are clear with what is that? The types of connotation. Okay. Now, the last one. Look at the sad face of the boy. Let us take, he may be affected by any sort of an antisocial event. Okay. When I'm neutral, I can use the word victim. That means he is a victim of any antisocial element or event. Okay. When I use the word loser, I possess negative connotation. Okay. So I hope now you are familiar with what do you mean by denotation? What do you mean by connotation? What is the difference between connotation and denotation? What are the types of connotation? So to sum up, denotation, it is nothing but the direct meaning of a word. And connotation, it is nothing but the indirect meaning of a word. Yes. Thank you, students.